Birder and Guldo, okay? May 2021, $90, dude. $90. And Guldo's not even a figure, it's just a statue, basically. So $90 for a Birder figure with barely any expressions or anything, and a Guldo statue. Insanity. You cannot defend this nonsense, okay? Now, before we go to the third-party stuff, let's move on to the premium, well, no, just SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures in general that I would like to see get affordable clones, you know, third-party versions, bootlegs, whatever. Alright, so first we have Raditz. I, of course, would be very interested in an affordable version of this. The price, this is DBZSHFigs.com, by the way. That's what we're using for these, like, you know, this purpose, just to see, like, because it also has the price in, like, I guess US dollars, not like Japanese yen like Tamashii Web would have or whatever. So $70 was the original price for this. Insane price. Okay, I haven't done a scamculation for this, but I would like to see a better value version of this. Okay, if this figure was, let's say, currently it's on the scalper market, so if it wasn't being completely scalped insanely, I might have started Dragon Ball Thunder from the Saiyan saga instead of like Goku versus Frieza. But even if this was currently available at retail, $70 is still way too much for this, okay? This should be like, I don't know, I'm guessing probably like, you know, 50 max or something, possibly. But I'd have to do a scam calculation to get an exact price, you know what I mean? And I would prefer this color scheme, not the like SDCC color scheme or whatever, so there's that. Nappa. Now for Nappa, this one was $75. I actually I owned this figure years ago. I had this figure years ago, but I sold it a while ago as well. So I'd like to see an affordable version of this, of course, but I prefer to see the SDCC colors because these are more like anime colors, okay? And this one was $70. I want to know, how was the SDCC one less than the regular one? This is 75 and this is 70. How is that? I don't even know. That's weird. Anyways, next is Grade 8 Vegeta. I'd like to see an affordable version of this. This Vegeta figure, I think personally, the thing I'd most want to use it for would be like for a manga cover or something, because I think there's a manga cover with like Grade 8 Vegeta, like behind Goku and that kind of stuff, so there's that. The price for this was $180, which, I mean, it's like not absolutely completely insane, I don't think. I don't know. The figure is pretty large, but then again, if you compare it to Storm Arena, you know, it's probably not large enough to justify this kind of price tag. So if I were to see like a bootleg of this or something for like, I don't know, $100 or even, I don't know, $80, something like that, because I think there's actually like, there is or was a bootleg of the SH Figuarts Shenron that's like dirt cheap. Like, I can't remember the price really, but it's like less than $100. It's like something pretty cheap, and I heard the bootleg is like, well, I saw based on reviews and stuff, I think like it's not like horrible quality. So I think we could see an affordable version of this. I think $100, even if it's good quality, of course, would be like a solid price to pay for like this kind of figure here. $180 though, just like pretty high up there. Okay, I don't think it necessarily needs to be that much. This Yamcha here, Saiyan Saga Yamcha, original price was $65, and keep in mind that was in 2017. So if we adjust that for inflation and stuff, it's probably going to be like, what, 70 something dollars, 80 something dollars possibly by today's like currency rates or whatever, the value of today's currency. So way too high of a price tag for this. This should basically just be like a $38 figure, dude. Like what is this? Look at what's in the box. Like, look at what you're getting and look at the price tag in 2017. So the price is even higher if you go based on today, like inflation and stuff, dude. $65 for this nonsense here. No. Okay. Next, oh, I want to say though, if DB Toys, for example, were to make a clone of this, I think honestly the best move would be for them to actually clone those JR Studio Yamcha head sculpts and use those instead of the SH Figuarts ones, because the SH Figuarts ones are like way more basic than the JR Studio. So I think if they were to do that and use those head sculpts, it would make it even superior to the SH Figuarts as far as the artistic value is concerned, okay? Next we have Tien and Chaozu, this little Chaozu statue thing. December 2017 release date, the original price $67 in 2017. So today that'd probably be like 70 something dollars, 80 something dollars possibly for this, dude. Like, you're not even getting anything with this thing, okay? So insane price tag for sure. This should once again be like a $38, $40 figure or something. You know what I mean, man? So yeah. Next we have Bardock here, January 2021 release date, original price $55.99. Not the most insane price tag ever, but still more than this should be, because look at what you're getting, man. I mean, what, 4 expressions, some hands, this ball thing, like $55.99 for what reason, dude? Just because the name is Figuarts, man? No. So I'd like to see an affordable version of this to basically go along with the one that's getting released the end of this year, I think it is. But if DB Toys were to make this Bardock, I'd want them to do this. What they should do is, first of all, change the color scheme, or at least have 2 versions, right? One version with the original color scheme like this, and another version with the darker green, because this lighter color scheme here is more similar to the episode of Bardock thing, on like Planet Plant or whatever, and the darker green is more similar to the Bardock, the Father of Goku TV special, okay? I don't really care about the Planet Plant color scheme kind of thing, so I'd like to see a version of this with like dark green, okay? And also, they should clone or recast the DKO Recustom Bardock head sculpts and use those instead of this like more like basic, like, you know, frankly kind of ugly looking stuff that SH Figuarts made, okay? And now, Goku's old friend, infamous on this channel, infamous Scammery. The price for this, according to my scamculation, should be about $42, not $80, okay? So I'd like to see an affordable version of this. I think the figure, like, looks pretty good, apart from the lack of shading and detail. Like, I think artistically, it looks like the anime and stuff like that. With a price tag, insane, $80, little tiny figure, no, okay? Next, we have Son Gohan Kid Era. Now, this figure, the body is really kind of, you know, I guess kind of ugly aesthetically, okay? But I would still be interested in this personally if I were to get an affordable version of it available. November 2020, original price $52, and look at what you're getting, man. Seriously. I mean, seriously, man. Look at what you're getting here for $52 in 2020. 6 years ago. Almost 6 years ago, right? So the price today would be higher if you adjust for inflation or whatever, probably like, what, $60 for this? And it's a little figure, dude. Insane. It's indefensible, man. People defend Premium Bandai and Scamdai and all this stuff, dude. It's ridiculous. You gotta be insane, dude, to think this is, what, $60 and all that. What? You gotta be kidding, man. Anyways, moving on now. Zarbon True Power. July 2025. Price $85, okay? $85. For what reason, man? For what reason? Tell me. Someone give me a reason that makes sense. You can't, okay? $85 for what? Right? Because it's premium scam dye, okay? Remember, as I said before, the argument of exclusives have to cost more because they make less or whatever. Bandai doesn't get to use that excuse because even many of their general releases are overpriced. So it's not like the general releases have good prices and then only the premium scam dye ones have high prices or whatever. No. Even many general releases are scams, okay? So that argument cannot work. You can't defend it, okay? You can't. It's logic. It's basic logic here. So, Zarbon True Power, $85, insane. If I had to guess, I would guess this should probably be about, what, $45, $50, something like that, max, basically, okay? Let's see here, Captain Ginyu. So, July 2020, $66. If you adjust for inflation, it's probably like $70-something by today's standards. Way too high of a price tag. As far as I know, WP Model doesn't plan to make like a Captain Ginyu clone, and I don't really care, to be honest. Their prices are too high anyways. I'd rather see someone else who has better prices make a Captain Ginyu clone. I know DF made their Captain Ginyu a while ago, and it's probably a bit cheaper than the SH Figuarts one, but it just doesn't look very good to me. So I'd like to see an affordable clone of this Captain Ginyu here. And of course, as far as the Ginyu Force is concerned, I could use them to make like the manga cover where they're all standing in front of each other or whatever, you know? Raccoon. So of course, it says April 2021 release date, price $72, insanity. Now, this Raccoon figure, WP Model did make a clone of this, but their price was insane, like $78, $80, whatever, like way too high of a price tag. Defeats the whole purpose, dude. I mean, if you're gonna buy the WP Model Raccoon for $78, $80 or whatever, you may as well have got this. It's like, it's not a better deal than this. And I mean, look at the price is even lower, $72. Of course, this is like 5 years ago, so inflation and all that stuff. But like, I guess what WP Model basically did is try to price their Ginyu Force figure, at least for Raccoon, at basically, you know, like the same kind of price as the original price. No, 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 no. You're making a clone. You're making a bootleg. It should be cheaper than the official figure originally was, okay? Not the same price. Cheaper, not the same price. You can't make a bootleg of something and charge the same price as it originally was, dude. Like, what is this? Anyways, let's see. So, SH Figuarts Raccoon, the Nightmare Raccoon, up for pre-order right now on Premium Bandai, $85. I like how this figure looks, apart from the lack of shading and detail, generally. Like, look how plain that is. $85, you can't even shade the thing, dude. Ridiculous. So, this right here, I would like to get this figure for a decent price, okay? For a decent price. And keep in mind, dude, that like basically all of these figures, like basically every single SH Figuarts figure suffers from poor shading, okay? I mean, even the Yamcha here has some shading on the pants and stuff, but it doesn't really look good. It just looks like his clothes are wet or something. It doesn't look like, you know, like good detail. Look at the skin, plain, no shading on the arms, and you're asking $65 for this stuff. At least give people artistic stuff that looks like it deserves the price tag. At least make stuff look like it deserves the price tag. This is basic stuff, dude. This is basic stuff. This is stuff that should be on the aisle in Target. This should be on a Target shelf, dude. Like, this is nothing special, incredible, amazing artistic detail. No. What is this? This is very basic stuff, dude. This is not some amazing artistic stuff here, man. If you want to see amazing artistic stuff, look at Storm Arena, okay? Look at that Biscuit Oliva. Looks like a Hall of Fame statue. Looks incredible. That is what a premium figure looks like. Not this, okay? Not this. Not this at all. This is not what a premium figure should look like, dude. Okay, this is not premium. Don't delude yourself thinking this is premium, dude. This is not premium stuff. This is very basic stuff, man. Okay? Look at like even 1/6 scale. Look at Hot Toys, for example, right? That's what premium figures look like. And Storm Arena basically looks like smaller versions of those. Like, that's how good Storm Arena looks. Storm Arena looks like smaller versions of like those highly detailed 1/6 scale figures that actually look like premium artistic collectibles. That's what they look like. This does not look like that at all, okay? $65? No. So all of these figures, man, they would look a lot better if they had great shading, okay? They're so plain. So plain. How can a premium line have such poor shading? This is unacceptable, okay? Unacceptable. So if DB Toys were to make clones of these or whatever, if they were to add good shading to really highlight the details, look at TN. Look how plain this is. No shading on that. At least I can't tell if I can't see anything. The pants might have some shading. Yeah, it looks like that, but nothing up here. Nothing. Just plain. This is a premium figure, dude? No. Okay, no. Just because you call something premium doesn't make it premium. Just because you charge $85 doesn't make it actually a better product, okay? Just because something has a higher price tag doesn't actually mean the product is better, okay? It just has a high price tag. Let's move on now. So next one, Birder and Guldo, okay? May 2021, $90, dude. $90. And Guldo's not even a figure, it's just a statue basically. So $90 for a birder figure with barely any expressions or anything, and a Guldo statue. Insanity. You cannot defend this nonsense, okay? I would like to get an affordable birder. WP Model is currently working on a birder, but their price is like $78. What's the point of that? I may as well have bought this, right? Then buy that. I mean, it's not really that much of a difference, you know, $80 compared to $90, okay? So no, I want to see someone else who charges good prices and stuff, preferably DB Toys, make good affordable clones of the Ginyu Force. And as for Guldo, I think the best thing to do would be to either make your own Guldo from scratch or clone DF's Guldo, okay? Nail, $80, dude. $80. And it looks like a Toys R Us exclusive, dude. I mean, look at this. Look at this thing right here, man. Does that look premium to you? Does that look absolutely incredible? No, this is very basic stuff, man. This is very basic stuff. And the thing is, like, I don't intrinsically have a problem with more basic looking figures. Like, Jada Toys don't look like that incredible. They're like kind of basic figures, you know? But the price tags are pretty good. So I'm okay with that. If your figures are more simple, they're not like, you know, highly detailed and stuff like that, then you charge lower prices. But if you're charging these insane price tags, I want to see the manga in figure form. I want to see the anime in figure form. I don't want to see this basic looking stuff here, man. I want good detail, shading, sculpting. I want to feel like, man, this thing looks awesome. This is definitely worth $80, dude. Definitely worth the money. This thing is awesome. This is not just a kid's toy. But look at this, you know? Look at this. $80 for what reason? Okay, for what reason? You can't justify this stuff, man. Now, Guru, March 2026, 310. So this figure here, I will say I like the sculpt of this. Just like basically all 6 Figuarts, it has poor shading and detail. But the sculpt of it, I think, looks pretty good. But it's basically just a statue. When I think I did a scamculation for this, did I? No, I don't think I did. But if I saw like an affordable clone of this for like, you know, $100 or something, then I'd be like, okay, if it's like decent quality, good quality, whatever, $100 for this instead of $310, okay, you know, it's a massive thing. Like, I mean, look how small Nail looks compared to this thing, right? It's a massive thing. For $100 or something, I'd be like, okay, cool, you know. Purunga, same thing. I did do a scamculation for this. The original price, $300, December 2022. According to my scamculation, this should be $154. That's what that's the price this should have been in the past, right? $154. So a bootleg, a clone, whatever you want to call it. I mean, same thing like Guru, you know, $100 for a massive Purunga clone or whatever. I'd be like, okay, you know, I think that's like a decent price, you know, if it's good quality. Of course, it's not like this falling apart garbage. Let's see here. Krillin Battle Clothes. October 2022, $60. This little figure, I mean, it's not like stacked with accessories or anything, right? Why is it $60? Why? For what reason? And that's October 2022. That's not 2026. So if you adjust for inflation, that might be what, $65, $70 possibly, right? For this little thing. Not much accessories really. I mean, it has like, you know, whatever. It's not, there's no justification for this, okay? So there currently are, or at least recently there were, bootlegs of this for like, I think $50 free shipping possibly from China. The bootlegs of this, you know, I've heard that like the quality's all over the place. Some copies might have good quality. Some copies might have trash quality. If DB Toys were to make this and generally have like pretty good quality for a decent price, I mean, this should probably be like $30 max, honestly. It's such a small figure too, you know, 30 max, I'd say for this probably, okay? Or even 20 something, I don't know. Like, this is just insane, all right? Next, we have Gohan Battle Clothes. Now, I do have a bootleg of this, which is horrible. I mean, the quality is horrible. The quality is so horrible that I had to, like, I think I glued the legs onto the body so they'd stop falling off, okay? Like, that's how bad it is. So, once again, $60. For what reason? Look at this. $60 for what? $60 for what, man? I don't understand this. And look how plain it is. Look how plain. You can't deny how plain this is. Look how plain this is. No shading on this thing or anything. Just a plain, basic little figure. $60, dude? For what? And look, approximately 3.9 inches height. 60. What? Dude. So yeah, it's just like the Krillin. Probably 20-something dollars, $30, something like that. Would be, I think, a decent price for this. $60, dude. Absolute insanity. Now, due to artistic necessity, I might end up buying a scalped copy of this in the future for Dragon Ball Thunder, because especially for when Gohan fights Frieza, I think I might need to get an official figure for that, because the bootleg is just so horrible. I don't think it could really work very well for that. So I might end up buying a scalped version of this in the future. But it's not because I want to buy a scalped version of this. There is no other Gohan of this, of like a similar articulation style or anything, you know? It's like, as I've said before, we're stuck with Bandai, dude. There's no other company in the world making articulated Dragon Ball figures. The only option you have is a scalping company, dude, okay? That's it. We're stuck with scamming Bandai. Next, we have this Vegeta Battle Clothes. So this thing right here, $60, high price tag. I don't think it's that like insane price necessarily, like absolutely insane, but like still should be lower. This should probably be like a $38, $40 figure, that kind of price range. Perhaps you could say 50 because of these pieces or whatever, but yeah, 60 is still too high for this, man. Too high for this. So yeah, and the face sculpts are not even really very good. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. Doesn't look very good at all, okay? Does not look very good at all. I think this one looks kind of cool, you know? This one might be okay-ish. But yeah, overall though, not like the high... Look at this. This is not great, right? This yelling one here. This is not a premium line, man, okay? That's not what a premium figure should look like. A premium figure should look like I just took Vegeta off of a manga page and I have him as a figure, man. That's what it should look like, okay? Not this kind of generic kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. Next, we have Tien and Chaozu, the like Android or Cell Saga version. $80. Now, let's see. If Tien, let's say Tien, I mean, he only has 3 head sculpts. So let's say Tien is worth like what? Let's say $35 for Tien. This little Chaozu with no accessories or anything really. Probably extra different hands, I think. Let's say what for this Chaozu? $20. So 35, 20, 55. This should probably be about $50, $60 or something like that, possibly. $80 in 2021. Scam, of course. Okay. And if you adjust for inflation, then this is going to be probably like, what, 85, 90, possibly more than that. Okay. So, yeah. Affordable version of this is needed, okay? Decent quality, not like falling apart garbage. And then finally we have Hercule here. $77. And for what exactly? Why is it $77? I don't get it. Now I will say, I think the sculpts of this, the face sculpts, are like some of the best Bandai has done. Like this is pretty cool. It looks pretty similar to the anime, I think. If it actually had good shading and stuff like that, then I think this would be a pretty solid figure. But look how plain the pants are. No shading on that. Not that I can tell. Look at this right here. I don't see any shading on that either. So just like, once again, plain. You know, it's not a premium thing. You know what I mean, man? So yeah. So this is the basically second part of SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures that I'd like to see get affordable bootlegs or third-party clones or whatever. If DB Toys sees this, hopefully, you know, they get some ideas from this and stuff like that. And if you want other figures to be remade or cloned or whatever, be sure to comment though so they can see it, or comment on Instagram or whatever. All right, now let's move on to the third party stuff.